guys, it's like 5:18, so we're off. It's rainy, a little detour in my plan that I originally had set up, but no biggie, so just gotta roll with the flow. Let's hit it. All right, so we got time. It's like my first train is at 5:45, so always, give yourself extra time when you try to go places, guys, so you don't have to rush, and you can have time to do filming. So from here, we're gonna go catch the Shinkansen, which is the Japanese bullet train, which is actually only like one stop from where I live, so it's not a big deal. So we get there, and I can relax a little bit. Here. So basically, I'm here for an event called Pixel by Pixel. It's here in Tokyo, and fortunately, OTOY and the Render Network have brought me out here, so I'm extremely grateful to those guys. And I'm basically here to meet with a couple of guys, J.Winbush, Patrick 4D, a couple of people, and just to kind of pick their brains a little bit. Also, ask them some questions about their workflow using the Render Network and things like that. And plus, I'm a kind of a fanboy, 'cause especially Patrick 4D was like the whole reason why I'm even using Blender, even though he's a Cinema 4D guy and an Octane guy. But we'll get into that a little bit later in the story. So I got a super little fanboy mode right now. But anyways, yeah. So we're here. Building's pretty cool. I'm gonna get checked in and we'll see how the event goes.
But that are much easier to make than it may look at first glance.
All right, guys, so I'm here with Patrick 4D. I'm going to ask him a couple questions. We're here at the Pixel by Pixel event. First question, if there's one thing in your workflow that you can automate, what would that be?
Ooh. Probably any time I have to UV anything, which is not all the time since I texture procedurally. But when I do, especially for client work, it would be great to not have to worry about UVs.
Yeah.
Have AI take care of that.
Yeah. And speaking on AI, what do you do right now to keep your creativity going, knowing the disruption that AI is making into the community? Like, how do you stay motivated and passionate with that?
I think I've led into, that's why a lot of my content on Instagram comes down to showing the process and showing any kind of brand collabs I've had has to do with me as an artist using them and not just looking at the work. So I think I've built my brand as much of it is a part of me and like how I work and how I look on camera and how I talk as much as it is the actual renders of the work. So it's like 50-50, and that's something, the definition of AI is not human. So
Yeah.
I think that's just a way, and also just showing clients that it's, whether clients think, oh, that's probably AI or not, they can see that I actually work.
It's me.
Yeah, exactly.
I did it.
So that's pretty much that.
All right, so another question for a lot of beginners here, especially who are who are a little bit deterred because of AI. What is a good mindset or a good habit that you use to keep you motivated and to help you grow throughout this long journey that you've been on?
I think my mindset that I've always had was, I've been a freelancer for as long as I can remember, like 20 2012, 2014, even in high school. And like you go through periods where work is low, you go through periods where work is high. And I've always just like, hunkered down and continued to work even through the tough patches, just hoping that it was going to work out. And I think I've been doing it long enough to know that even when things seem and feel like, oh, this is not good, this might be the end of the world, I haven't gotten working on it, I haven't gotten to work for it. It's literally part of being a freelancer. So the same thing, it's this, I think it's just more of a global feeling that people are feeling like this. I feel like this is the first time the majority of people in the world kind of feel like they're being a freelancer. So, people have speculation on whether this is going to change motion graphics, this is going to change the world forever. All these companies are putting billions of dollars to like AI platforms and programs, but nobody actually knows how it's going to work out. But I can tell you on a local level, nobody seems to think it's a good idea for everyone to be like run down by AI.
Oh yeah.
So I think even if it seems crazy, I think we'll find a way to harmonize our work and human-made things the same way we buy organic, we want real things, the same way we want tattoos to be made by real people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To teach people how to use the software and to make tools that enable the artists to make even.
What up? Winbush here. Thank you all for coming out and inviting me to Japan. This is my first time here, so different animations to it. I like using Rococo motion captures.
All right, guys, I'm here with Winbush, and again, we're going to be talking a little bit about asking some questions. I'm here for OTOY and the Render Network. So how do you think 3D GPU cloud-based rendering or cloud-based rendering will help out creating artists in the future as far as rendering things?
Yeah, I think it will help because I know when I first started off, like actually Octane was the very first GPU renderer I used. And this was speaking back into like Octane 2, Octane 3-ish. And back then I would have like my own render network. Like I had several computers that had like 4 1080 Ti's in there. And I just remember how hot that room got. And sometimes you had to worry about if like a frame glitched on one machine and it didn't sync up. And with cloud rendering, you no longer have to worry about that. Like you could just have one dedicated machine, even the laptop. Like you have something as small as a laptop, put it up to the cloud render and call it a day. You don't have to worry about like your renders messing up overnight because, a lot of times I would be anxious when I went to bed.
See what those results were.
It's not even because of Octane, it's because of Windows. They would just want to reset the computer and do like a Windows update just out of nowhere at midnight. So yeah, no longer do you have to worry about that. Like you can have peace of mind, put your renders up on the cloud and just go about your business.
All right, so if there was one thing that you could automate in your workflow, what would that be?
I think it would be UV mapping. I do a lot of 3D scanning, and a lot of times, like I'm cleaning up my 3D scans in programs like Substance Modeler. And when you do that, you destroy your UV maps that come originally from your 3D scan. So a lot of times you have to go through, remap it, take it over to like Substance Painter and then paint over top of it and everything. But that's a long process, like trying to do the UV mapping. It's not fun at all. So yeah, that's the one thing I've been waiting for AI to like take that off the like
You and all of us.
It could do everything. Like AI is doing all the fun stuff. Like
do the bad stuff.
The bad stuff. So all the AI companies out there, we need that out there. UV mapping, nobody wants to do it. So let's make that happen.
For any young artist out there who's getting into 3D, because you've been in the game for a while, what would you say will be your number one habit or something that kept you motivated going through everything from, just help you stay motivated to keep crunching through?
Yeah, I think never being complacent with where you're at and just always staying curious. Like if anybody follows me on YouTube, they know when I first started YouTube, actually, you said you discovered me when I was using Cinema and X Particles. Like that was
Redshift,
like 8 years ago. So it's like, if you look at what I'm doing now, it's like on a whole other spectrum. I'm doing motion capture, 3D scanning, even doing video game stuff with like UEFN, Fortnite, Unreal. Like there comes to a point to where I just want to keep challenging myself, and that keeps everything exciting because I know early in my career, like I want to be a motion graphics artist. You learn Cinema 4D, you learn After Effects. And then I was good at it, but it was getting boring. So it's like I needed that challenge. I challenged myself to take on other platforms, and that's what's been keeping me motivated. And at the same time, you get seen as a pioneer as doing a lot of these things, because as long as you're willing and able to jump into something new that other people aren't doing, then once you succeed, then people often come to you for that service because then you figured out all the kinks and bugs and
Did all the hard work, yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
And also with AI coming in, I know a lot of artists are getting a little bit discouraged. How do you stay creative with AI reshaping the whole system and the ecosystem?
Yeah, so AI, I stayed on the sidelines for a while there. Like I never jumped into the Mid Journey or the VO3s, like under that stuff. But I don't know if you're familiar with like Comfy UI. So it's I don't want to say like it's its own system, but it allows you to build out your own data sets. And that's what I was really excited about. Cause then it's like it still uses stuff from other sources, but like say that you wanted to build your own system off of your likeness, like you could feed the system like 2,000 photos of you. So anytime you need to do something with AI, it would be your exact likeness. So you're building out your own models based off of your own style, or even if it's if it's like a client, like say you're working for like Netflix and they're like, oh, we want to do some comedy stuff. They can literally send you over a bunch of stuff from their IPs, and then it's like you're only working with their
You've got a
IPs to
custom
build
thing.
it. Yeah, it's all custom built and it's all local too. Like you're not doing it on the internet like a lot of these other services. Like it's all centralized to your
That's
machine.
great. That's really nice. That's
So
good.
yeah, that's what I'm not an expert at all. Literally just been learning it for like the past month, but it's been interesting to see how that works.
That's good. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, we're here with DJ. So, question: how do you think cloud rendering and GPU rendering is going to help artists in the future?
Yeah, I mean, it's already made such a huge impact just in the past few years. Like, I remember like waiting for buckets to do their thing to see a single image, and now it's just like, especially with Octane, it's like everything's almost like basically real time, and I think that's why you've seen an explosion of so many people getting so good at lighting and just scene build and world building, and just because there's just so little lag. And so I think it's already been a game changer already, but once we get into real time, we go into cloud rendering, you can make the beefiest scene, you can work from a laptop, you can render on the beach.
Yeah,
That's the life, like right there. That's the game changer right there.
definitely. All right, so if there's one thing in your workflow that you could automate, what would that thing? What would that be?
You know, it's funny, like we joke all the time about like, oh man, AI is taking all the fun stuff from us, but it's like there are some things that like I challenge AI. AI, you're listening right now. I know the robot overlords are listening right now. Do the weight painting.
Oh,
Do the all that cleanup, the mocap cleanup. Do UV unwrapping.
there
Do
it is.
retopology. All those things, like AI, come on, help us out here.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't like to do that. That's not fun. That's not creative.
I was waiting for the UV unwrapping. That's been like, I'm not everyone UV unwrapping, UV. That's the trend going.
Yeah, still waiting. Still waiting.
For any beginner artist that's on their journey, what was like the one habit or the one thing that kept you motivated to keep pushing through when you really didn't have an audience to keep going chugging through your the journey?
Yeah, I mean, I think this applies to everything that you do. You have to do it because you enjoy it and not because of anyone else or achieving, like making anyone else happy or trying to get the likes or the followers or anything like that, because
Vanity metrics.
that's a grind. And if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, you're gonna burn out and you're gonna drop out real quick. So for me, it was purely, I would make a video for me. It's almost like I'm slowly uploading my brain to the internet. And, when I post a tutorial, it's just great to see like something that I figured out or something I worked through that I was like, oh, I need to share this because I'm sure there's a lot of other people struggling on this. And so I always love sharing because there's so many people that have, in this community have shared, back in the day, like your Grayscale Gorillas, your Andrew Kramers. And so like I came into the industry
And you.
and but only because of them, like
Right, yeah.
and I got to give it up to people like Arnold Benowitz and like Creative Cow and like just the old school places that the community was just so giving, and I just kind of got inspired by that. And now it's it's great because a lot of people are doing the videos now, like you're rocking it. Like now you got so many tools that people are trying to learn, and there's just so much free knowledge out there, and it's great because school is expensive.
Jeez, Louise.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
so breaking down those financial barriers, technical barriers, like that's what we should all be here for, is just to uplift the community, all get better, learn together. That's the whole point of this event right here at Pixel to Pixel. So yeah, I would say if you're doing it for the right reasons, you're never gonna fail because you're gonna love what you're
You have the
doing, and
motivation.
that's all that matters.
Yeah,
right?
you got the motivation.
Yeah.
So with AI moving into the scene, I know a lot of people are kind of getting demotivated. How do you stay creative with with AI making the interruption that it's making?
Yeah, so it's definitely tough. It can be definitely disheartening. I know there's like two sides. Like you'd be super amped up about it, but there's a lot of people that are getting impacted by it too. So there's that human element that's like,
Yes.
we've not really seen anything like this before in our industry. So it's definitely like the sands are the ground's shifting before our feet, and
Right.
just trying to get some standing. But I think I it's the same thing where it's like I talk about in my presentation, where it's like no matter what happens, like you can't control disruption or what's happening externally. So once you accept that and you accept what you can control, which is what do you do about it, what do you learn, how do you improve, how do you adapt, that's actually empowering, where you understand what you can do, and also just leaning into like, am I still doing the things that I love about this industry? If not, like, how do I course correct? Because some people might be losing their way or getting, unmotivated.
Yeah.
And for me personally, like no matter what happens, like I'm gonna still create. Like I'm gonna create for me.
Yeah, that's
And so many people are losing that thread. I feel like a lot of
Even the
people
spark. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people are trying to find fulfillment through client work, and there's very few people that actually do that. Like some people work on some really cool stuff, but a lot of us are just like, we're just trying to pay the bills over here.
Yeah,
But at the same time, if we're not being creatively fulfilled through, like, whether that's our own personal work or collabing with other artists or anything, like I think there's a lot of people that are getting very anxious because they're losing that thread, and they're losing the whole why of did I get into the industry.
That's it right there, the
once
why.
you lose the why, you're
done.
in trouble. And I found that, and again, I talk about this in my presentation. Like I've personally like been losing my why through everything, and have been rediscovering it. And so it's kind of the message that I'm sharing today. So it's always, what got you into this, and get back into that if you've fallen out of it.
Oh, can I have one, please? Can I have a pug, please? Oh, thank you. All right, guys. That was Pixel by Pixel. Absolutely fantastic event. Man, it was really cool. It was my first time ever doing an event out in Japan, at least for 3D. And dude, I really hope I can do some more representing OTOY and the Render Network. This is really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this quick little of what I did here today and all the people that I met with, and it was really cool. There's my train, gotta go.